Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Game On. This is your Sports Morning Espresso Shot. I'm your host, Will, here to bring you the latest and greatest going on in the sports world. Boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about. Got a lot to talk about. Got 4,500 of you guys locked in right now over on Rumble. That's almost as much as Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, or I guess Taylor Swift and the Kelce brothers had on their podcast. Almost as much as them. Maybe we get a few more people in here and we'll break their record. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that yesterday? I didn't watch any of it, but obviously everyone was talking about it. They had at one point they had 1.3 million people watching on YouTube. So much so that they actually crashed YouTube. Like apparently no one saw the last 10 minutes of the show because YouTube just crashed out. Which is wild to think of. Because I don't recall YouTube having like a major issue like that. I mean, they've got like multiple streamers that will have, hundreds of thousands of people watching them at a time and whatnot. But to be able to crash YouTube, man, they should have done the stream on Rumble. That's all I'm saying. Should have done the stream on Rumble. Rumble wouldn't have crashed. Rumble would handle that 1.3 like nothing because it ain't nothing. Rumble, 1.3 million, please. That's light work, right? Rumble walking in here and like,
the champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here.
Right. Hit the like button and follow. It's WD-40 for your robot parts. Funny you say that. I just had to use WD-40. These doors here in this house, they get so squeaky. I don't know why. It's a brand new house too. I don't get it. Good morning, Nate. How we doing? Over on the kick side. Good morning, Treasured Wombo. Nice name. I like it. Good morning. Welcome into the most professional, on-time, non-clickbait sports show on the internet, by the way. Let's say hello to our friends. Let's say hello, supporting's here. Good morning. Jamie's in the house. Jamie supporting. Okay, yeah. Your pick did. I was keeping an eye on the game. You had in that Reds game under in the first 5. I was keeping an eye on it and it was looking solid. And I was like, oh god, I hope it's not like a 5th inning, because I think you had first 5 under 4. And I'm like, hope it's not a wild 5th inning. Get this. So Bet Online sent me a email and said, hey, we got a present for you for your birthday. I was like, oh, that's cool. That's nice of them. As much money as I bet through them, I'd hope they send me something. They gave me a free $50. And so naturally, when I get a free $50, I put it into a parlay. Get this. Had faded the White Sox, right? So we had Detroit. That came through. I tailed Patriot on the over in the Rangers game. That one looked like it was going over early, and then there was a stall, and then at the end it went over. So that one came through. The freaking Rockies, man. The freaking Rockies. Mont, your cards stink. All right, that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about your cards. They lost to the Rocky 2 days in a row. That's embarrassing. But get this. They were up. They had a 1-run lead heading into the top of the 9th. Sure as shit, the Rockies come back and score 2. Get the win. I hate them. But that would have been a nice little 3-leg parlay. But no, the Rockies had to be competent, put up 2 runs in the top of the 9th. When's the last time they won 2 in a row? What are we doing? It's horrible luck. But hey, that's gambling, baby. I can't wait for football to fully be here so we can just quit betting on baseball. But good morning, Patriot. Good morning, B-Mac. How we doing, buddy? Most professional, on-time, non-clickbait sports show on the internet. That's right. Yes, we are your favorite sports show's favorite sports show. How about that? How about that? The champ is here. Haven't heard that in a long time. Where's that from, anyways? I don't know. It's in. You know who always comes out to it is John Jones in the UFC. I think that's where I know it from most. Is John Jones always plays that. Over cash in ninth, worth it exactly. It was 1-0 after 5. Game ended 8-0. Reds won. Well, you sure called that one right. You sure called that one right. I was right about the what I tell you, what I tell you, Jamie, about those Braves. I was like, you know what? You might want to bet them today because they were supposed to win yesterday, and you had them yesterday, and they screwed you over. And today there was all that sharp action stuff on the Mets. I'm like, take them. Did you guys see the Mets? We'll get to it when we do our little baseball recap. But the Mets, oh my God, they're up 6-0. The Mets are up 6-0 after 2 innings. They put up 3 runs in the bottom of the first and second, so it's 6-0. Then the top of the fourth comes around, and the Braves put up 9 runs in the top of the fourth. Oh my God, they went 11-6. I thought Frank was gonna die last night. I thought Frank was gonna die and have a heart attack, and that was it. That was it. No more Frank. That's embarrassing. That team does not deserve to be a wild card team. That's all I'm saying. Does not deserve to be a wild card team. Oh, thank you to everyone who has liked and reposted the stream. Appreciate that. It's going to help us. Liking and reposting the stream is going to help us get to 1.3 million people live, just like the New Heights podcast with Taylor Swift last night. We'll get there. We'll get there. Where do we want to start? Now that I've done enough rambling. Where do we want to start? Got a lot to talk. Oh, let's start here. Let's start here, and I'll share. I set up the contest, so you can go over my my X handle at GameOn_picks. You want to join in NFL Pick'em Challenge? Here I'll drop it. I see we got Sporting in there and Cricket's in there. Hey, look at that, Cricket's in. So what this is, we pick every game against the spread for the season. I don't know what I'm going to do for prizes yet. I think I don't know. I like to do the challenge of like, if you can beat me. None of that sounds right when I say it. If you do better than I do in the contest, so I'll say it. You'll get something. I'm still working out exactly what I'm going to put up for the prize, but trust me, there will be a prize. So there's that link. There will be a prize. So come join it. It's free to do, and especially if you're, I always say this, if you're new to sports gambling, or you want to learn about it and get familiar with it, doing free contests like this is okay. That did go through. Sweet. Nate's on the road for work again. Nate, you're always on the road, my man. Working hard. Good on you. No, but it's good if you want to learn more about sports betting and have an appreciation of just how hard it is actually to pick games against the spread, especially when you're forced to pick every game in a week. You want to just try out these contests because it costs you nothing and you have a chance to actually win money. Spike the Tiger, good morning, my friend. Good morning. How we doing? How we doing? Thank you for whoever posted that. I always forget we can do that stuff, that we can pin it up top. So whoever pinned that, thank you. Thank you. Sporting said it ended up just over 50% in the contest last year. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. It ain't. especially when you're forced to pick every week. Unlike the other contests that we do, like the super contest where you only have to make 5 picks a week and you get to choose which 5 you want. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Come do that. And then I'll set up the Survivor one too. I think I did put in a Survivor. I don't know. I do know I ended up doing let me see. They have so I did a Survivor. Oh, they have this one. This one's fun. We can do this. I create a group for this if you guys want, or you guys just go over and do it. But they have season win totals. So you go through and you just pick over or under on how many wins each team is going to have and see who has the best record at the end of the season. I think the Westgate is the Westgate or the Golden Nugget. One of the ones down there has like a contest every year. It's like a $500 contest. You just go in, submit your picks and whatnot. Those ones are fun because you just do it at the beginning of the season and then you just sit and watch. Like you don't have to worry about submitting your picks and getting them in on time each week. Drinking your coffee so you're getting there. Me too, brother. Me too. I needed this morning. Got home. It was chaos. Work last night. In-laws were over there. All surprised me. They made, oh my God, my mother-in-law made these delicious tacos. And my wife made my annual key lime pie. We made the joke. I go, I'm not kidding, guys. Like, my wife only makes this pie once a year. It's on my birthday. And she did something different this time. And I don't know if it was because it was the crust or whatnot, but oh my God, the key lime pie was good. Even my 2 boys and even my teenagers, she liked it. But oh God, that was good. So, but it was chaotic. The kids were a mess. They were crabby all day. They're running on no naps, hyped up off of sugar from the pie. Oh, it was wild last night. But we ended up staying up later than I normally do last night because we were watching a show and it was just good. I'm like, screw it, we're watching another episode and I'm paying for it this morning. But I figured, I'm 34, I can handle it now. I can handle it. Let's check in and see how Frank's doing.
Absolutely is fucking nightmarishly. It doesn't even give a fuck. They don't ever want to win. They don't want to win. And next year they're going to go on 162 and they love it. They love losing. I've never seen a team that loves losing. 6-0 and they gave it right back. And the smiles on their faces with that goddamn motherfucking H2O. Every time they play that fucking song. Every time. And then they go down without a fucking fight. They don't even give a fuck. The Reds are now passing them. Everything's just a nightmare. Total fucking nightmare. They're going to blow in the Cleveland. They might have a 20-run lead.
I'll tell you what, it is pretty funny seeing the Mets implode, especially with as much money as they spend on their team. And they're just terrible. Yeah, Frank may not make it to the postseason. We might lose. Good thing he lost all that weight because he would be dead. We don't want that. We don't want that. This is interesting. We got another gambling scandal. Stop me if you heard this before. We got another gambling scandal with college athletes. Oh gosh, John Mateer first, this week or earlier this week, and now the NCAA is investigating an incident of sports gambling involving multiple St. John's transfer players. So these are people that are transferring into St. John's. He says, I'm told the bulk of the investigation is centered around players who were betting against their former teams last season, knowing they would be out due to injuries and would be transferring to St. John's at the end of the year. Multiple players would lose eligibility this year and face a possible lifetime ban if NCAA finds enough evidence of said sports betting. Why are these kids doing this? Doesn't make any sense to me. Come on, man. Have we not learned by now? Blue says like the Dodgers, but yeah, at least the Dodgers though are like they still are in contention for their division. Good morning, Blue. At least they still, are respectable. The Mets are just a mess. Although the Dodgers are like one of the worst teams since the All-Star break. Ooh. This was a big whip. I know this isn't a new story, but with the new evaluation of the Cowboys, I think came out yesterday, something like that, as the most expensive franchise out there. I think they got valued at 11 point something billion. It doesn't matter because the Cowboys would sell for more than 11 billion. Whatever their valuation is. Oh no, 12 point. There it is, 12.8 billion. They would sell for more than that. Just because when you buy them, you're paying a premium to buy the Cowboys. They're the Cowboys, right? Not that Jerry would ever sell them, but Jerry bought them up for like 140 million back in the day. But Donald Trump passed up on buying the Cowboys in 1984 for $50 million, saying he felt sorry for the poor guy who's going to buy the team. Then the Cowboys are worth 12.8 billion. I mean, if Trump would have bought the team then, it would have returned 14% a year for 41 and a half years. That's insane. Here's the thing. I bet you if the Cowboys were in New York, Trump would have bought them. I think the reason why he passed on it was he's a New York guy. He's not a Texas guy. He ain't moving down to Texas to take care of the Cowboys. Why he says Mater denies he gambled. He's guilty. Yeah, dude, it's hard to explain that one away. Good thing for him is they're never going to be able to prove it, but it's kind of hard to explain that as a joke. It's like, come on, dude. Really? That's right, Blue. I think passing up on the Cowboys, knowing that you one day would be president, you take that rather than own the Cowboys. Okay, I'm in a bit of a situation, chat. I need to know if you guys can help me out with this. More and more every year, I want to quit liking the Patriots. That's my team. But they keep doing stupid shit. Robert Kraft is not a great guy. Not a great guy. So the stuff that he's done over the years. But then you've got when we were at the peak of the woke era, the one of the biggest woke organizations was the Patriots. Still are. They still did that, they'd still celebrated Pride Month this year when like majority of the league didn't. Hell, even Target didn't do it this year. And a lot of companies are like, "Hey, we got the hint. We heard the message from the election. We're gonna get lay off this woke stuff and quit virtue signaling." Good morning, Tommy. How we doing? But the Patriots are like, nah, we're gonna keep going into it. We got rainbow everything. I wouldn't be surprised this season we see rainbow dildos thrown on Gillette's field. I'm surprised Tom Brady's statue was bronze and wasn't just rainbow, right? So and then they come out and do this. They reveal their cheerleaders for the season, and at the end, that name's Jeremy. Now, some say that's Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. I haven't confirmed it. Kind of looks like him. Might be Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. I'll have to ask Beardo about this. The Patriots now have a male cheerleader. Just like the Vikings released yesterday. So they start off the thing with like, all on my body. I'm going to turn that off because of the music, but they come out with all these beautiful women, right? There we go. Yeah, right. There we go. We can all get behind that. Yep. Little redhead. Okay, she's cute. Yep. And then after this chick comes the dude. What are we doing? So I'm in a tough situation because I'm getting fed up with this shit. I mean, let's be honest. The NFL doesn't need cheerleaders. It's kind no one cares about the cheerleaders. But you having a sporting event where your audience is mainly male dominant, so you get a bunch of hot women out there with some good old booties and some nice tight short shorts, shaking it around. Like you're doing that for your fans, right? I get that. No one wants to see a male cheerleader out there. But here we are. So I'm in a predicament because I want to quit the Patriots, but I can't because I've been, since I was 10 years old. So for 24 years now, I've been a Patriot fan. If I quit now, they're like, you just quit because Tom's not there anymore. You guys will call me a bandwagon fan. You guys will make fun of me. But that's not why I want to quit him. So I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Did that guy suck off, Mr. Yeah. He's Mr. Kraft's new personal masseuse. He doesn't go to those Asian shops anymore. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know what he's thinking. Pages, I'll give you the opportunity to ride the greatest bandwagon of all in the world, Dallas Cowboys. I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can do that. But I mean, now we got male cheerleaders in the NFL. What are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah. So the New Heights podcast yesterday topped out at 1.3 million people live. Ended up crashing YouTube. Couldn't see the last 10 minutes of the stream. I will say this: Taylor Swift is a lot more well spoken than you would assume. Travis seems. I just saw clips and stuff here, but like Travis just kind of seems like a big goofball next to her. And every time he said something stupid, she would just be like, "You're so handsome. You're so handsome." But she was out there talking about like she knew nothing about football, like nothing. Now to the point where she's like talking about cover 2 and cover 0 and when they should play it. Good morning, lousy Larry. Thank you for stopping by and coming in. Hope you're having a good morning. And Ms. Leslie sent you. Of course, she's so good at that. She's the best. Good morning, Bradshaw. The world will finally see the trash organization Browns are straight garbage. Yes, we're going to get into the Browns here in a minute. I was reading through the chapter because we're covering each team and reacting to what Warren Sharp wrote up on about each team. I'll tell you what, this is probably the quickest one we'll do because it's a sad, sad chapter. The Browns. We all know the Browns aren't good, but it is a sad, sad chapter. Blue says, "Where's the electron?" What's up, the hip hop patriot? Because we're here. What do we say? We're opening up sports on weekends on LFA TV and would love to talk to you about hosting it. To me? You want me to host it? You sure? The most professional, on-time, non-clickbait sports show host on the internet? Maybe. I could be talked into it. Buku says no Brown slander. Buku, it's bad. It is bad. I was beat the brakes off Swift. She calls the plays now. China's doing a robot sporting event like Star Wars. Really? That actually sounds interesting. What kind of sports is it? No Browns will be on any fantasy team. Yeah, I had to make a decision. So I'm in a dynasty league. And so if you've never done a dynasty league before, you get to keep your players, but then we're at the point right now where it's just like football. Like you got to make your cuts and get underneath the salary cap. So I was making my cuts yesterday and I was sitting there staring and I'm like, God, do I get rid of Jerry Jeudy? I ended up keeping him because I got him really cheap. Got him on a cheap contract because I'm a good GM. But I was really debating whether I keep Jerry Jeudy or not. But yeah, it's sad. It's always been bad, but we're 1-0. China has 2 billion robots? No way. See you later, Jamie. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Hope you have a good rest of your day. You love to pick in the comments? Perfect. I'll check that out. If you guys want to enter the contest, chance to win $50 and a copy of Feel Still magazine. What we're doing is you tune into, or you get one pick a day, minus 150 or better. All you got to do is leave it in the comments down here. Here's Jamie. It's like this. Or you can leave it over on the locals page, gameon.locals.com. But Orioles plus 1.5 at against the Mariners, minus 145. And if you can string together 5 in a row, it doesn't have to be 5 days in a row. You can take a day off if you want. But then you give someone an opportunity to catch you or pass you. But if you can do 5 in a row, you'll win $50 and a copy of Phil Steele's college football preview. You're welcome. But leave that there. It's free to do. Check it out. Judy would be my only consider. I know, right? I know. That's the only person. Although I might draft, because it's the Dynasty League, I might draft one of their new rookie running backs. Them and Denver's running back, I think I'm going to try to get, because you want to get some of these rookie guys. Blue likes under in the Seattle game. Okay, we'll get to that. This is that book that I was telling you about. Obviously, you guys know I have a copy of this book right here. Look how thick that thing is. Kelly in Vegas says, I'm flying to Ireland tomorrow and thoroughly debated bringing my Sharp Football's football preview. Look how thick this thing is. So it reminds her of the Yellow Page phone book from the 90s. It is. I mean, this thing is, got mine right here. This thing is thick, but you can also get the PDF version, and that's what we use, or what I use to pull it up for you guys. Looks like this. See, so you get the PDF version. She said she just downloaded that, but it's pretty sweet. It's a good resource. I know BMAC has got one. It's a great little, great thing. I am not endorsed by this at all. I don't get anything for promoting this. I just think it's a really good tool, especially if you're going to be gambling on on football this year. It's a good tool to have. Here's what I want to know. Why is everyone, maybe Patriot, you can answer this. Why is everyone in Dallas all of a sudden talking about their past cancer scares? Jerry Jones all of a sudden comes out and talks about how he survived like stage 4 melanoma cancer or something like that back in 2010, which awesome. That's what we love to hear. But then, so Jerry drops that randomly, right? Like my new hat, by the way. Got that. Kids got me that. Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, baby, representing. He dropped that. And I'm like, okay, it's interesting. Weird that you just randomly dropped that news. Maybe it's been known before and it just is making the round again. I don't know. But then Shoddy, the new head coach for the Cowboys, was like, yeah, I had a cancer scare when I was 28. I'm like, why is everyone in Dallas all of a sudden talking about cancer? They did that on purpose, and I don't know why. Will's leaving money on the floor for not betting the WNBA. Check the Twitter. Oh, I saw that. I saw you post that. Hold on, let me. Dude, I need to follow you on this. Do you post these beforehand? Because I always see these, but I'll tell your WNBA. You're going to keep going 8-0 like this. Look at that. Up 17.74 units yesterday. Damn. That's beautiful. Good work by you. Good work. I'll tell them. This is huge. This is big news. So you guys know that I've been pushing a lot of Tommy says they're doing soccer over in China with the robots. Ooh, that is interesting. So Kalshi, I've been a big proponent. I've been betting on Kalshi a lot, mainly for elections. Made a lot of money tailing the great Robert Barnes in the elections. But since like November, I haven't like done any sports on there until like basketball season. Football was over, so I wasn't betting. And now they have a lot more sports options on there. And this is great because I was looking at I've already placed some futures on here. And here's what's nice about Kalshi. So I have 2 portfolios for my betting portfolio when it comes to football time. I have my regular everyday betting portfolio that I use daily, that I make my daily bets on. But then I have another portfolio that's just straight futures bets. And one of the frustrating thing is like you tie up all your money in the sports book, right? So you make like let's say you make someone to win a division, right? I got San Francisco to win their division. That money is just an interest-free loan given to them. I can't get that back until after the season's done. So like 4 or 5 months, my money's tied up. But you can now go over to Kalshi. And the good thing about Kalshi is the one thing that I loved about it is like you can, let's say I take San Francisco to win their division. They've got the easiest schedule in the league this year. Let's say they start off 8-9-0 or 8-1, right? Clear-cut favorites at that point. They'll be like minus 200 or more to win the division, depending on how everyone else is doing the division. But you can sell out at any point, right? So that's kind of cool. Unlike other like a sports books futures bet, you can't really cash out of those on most books. But now your money is not being tied up. Your money is not being tied up in it like an interest-free loan to those sports books. On Kalshi, at least you're getting something back. You can now earn 4% interest on cash and open positions. They had it on cash before. So if you had cash in there, you're getting 4% back on your money as long as you had at least $150 in there. Now you're getting 4% interest not only on your cash, but your open positions. So like people that are betting on the next presidential winner, which obviously the election isn't for another 3 years, your money is actually making some interest on it being there in Kalshi, which is great. It says in just 9 months, we've already paid millions to traders. Think about that. You're making money even if your pick doesn't win. That's pretty cool. And being honest, like 4% is a lot better than what you can get in a random or a normal savings account in a bank. So that's kind of cool. So another reason to join Kalshi. I am not getting paid to talk about Kalshi, by the way. They are not a sponsor. Although Kalshi, if you'd like to sponsor the show, hit me up because I'm going to be doing a lot less bets in my sports book and a lot more in Kalshi going forward for this football season. So that's pretty cool. Oh boy, Blues all worked up about the COVID shot. Gotta have a bunch of old people that come to my pharmacy asking, "Hey, you got the new shot in?" I go, I don't even know if we're getting a new one this year. But there's still people. You would think it's crazy. You would think it's the older generation that are just scared and just always listen. They just their whole life have always taken the next vaccine, right? And that's just how they grew up. They even in rural Idaho, where I work, there was a high demand for the COVID vaccine since it's come out. Every year, there's a high demand. And it's just a bunch of old people asking for it. Sporting says, my long shot bet is the Federal Reserve not to change interest rates in September, currentently at 11% on Kalshi. I was thinking that same thing, Supporting. You got everyone coming out talking about, 0.25 basis point change. You got or 25, or I guess it's 25 basis point change or a 50 basis point change. You had Bessett come out yesterday saying that he wouldn't be surprised if it's a 50 point basis cut in September. Everyone's assuming there's going to be one in September. I'm with you, Supporting. I kind of want to zag where everyone's zigging, you know? Or is it zigging where everyone's zagging? Either way, I want to go opposite. Because I could see some dumb shit happen in September and where it doesn't get changed. And then that's what puts it over the edge to get Powell out of there. But then again, Powell might be out before then, so you never know. Grass Guy, what's up? Dude, there is something to nicotine about like helping prevent you from being sick. I saw Tucker Carlson talking about it, but I was listening to an argument about Not getting sick. And listen, my kids, my whole house was just sick. Everyone got sick. And when my kids get sick, my wife and I always get sick. But I've been zenning a lot lately. I got one in right now. I haven't got sick. Maybe there is something to nicotine. You never know. My parents are brainwashed. Keep telling them to stop. And please listen. My sister's just as bad on vaccine. Yeah. It's tough, dude. It's tough. The stuff that I went through. So I'm a pharmacist. So the stuff I went through during COVID, it was terrible. One of the reasons why I left Washington State was the mandates and whatnot. But one of the worst things was the people that were forced to get it for their job. And I tried to tell them, like, you don't actually have to, you can do a religious exemption, you do all this, but they're like, no, I can't risk it. I need it. I need to do this. But they're just bawling their eyes out because they don't want the shot as I'm about to give it to them. And I'm trying to tell them, like, you don't have to, but they're like, no, I have to for my job. And I'm like, okay, well, this is your choice. Like, obviously, if you want it, I'll educate you. I'll give you my opinion on it. I'll give you, I'll counsel you on it. But at the end of the day, it's your choice to get it. If you want to get it, it's on you. Sporting says no one's reading the reports. The Fed say they won't cut until inflation's at 2% and we're at 2.7%. Yeah. And that's 2.7% with the government numbers, which we all know the government numbers are not accurate. Grass Guy says he talked his father out of it. Good job. Good job. What time are we at? Oh, we're looking good. Did you see this? What the hell is Tennessee doing? What are we doing? Tennessee is I told Crick this on the show yesterday. I go, dude, buy up all the Tennessee Nike gear you can now. Then a year from now, sell it at a premium. Make bank. But Tennessee, University of Tennessee is ditching Nike and switching back to Adidas. Ugh. Big L here. Big L here for the Vols. The uncensored pharmacist. Yes, that is I. That is I. Cricket is pissed. I know. I would be pissed too, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? Buy up all the Nike gear you can now, man. While it's still available. With the reason why we're covering the Browns today is because with the Shedeur Sanders news yesterday, I was like, oh, this is probably a good topic to talk about. Get some new people's attention that are Browns fans. I see that's why we got our Bradshaw on the YouTube side thing here. Figured might help the algorithm, getting some talk in about the Browns since we got this news about Shedeur. He was set to start. So early yesterday, the Browns will start Shedeur Sanders against the Eagles on Saturday if Dylan Gabriel's hamstring and Kenny Pickett's hamstrings both remain out, which it was looking like they were. But then in practice yesterday, Shedeur Sanders injured his oblique early in practice and was held out for the remainder of it. He is going to be sidelined. He is not going to be playing Saturday now. The future Hall of Famer, Browns Hall of Famer for preseason football, Shedeur Sanders, will not be playing week 2 here of the preseason. Sad day for Browns fans. Leslie says, no, he's pissed. I know. I watched a little bit of it yesterday. Boogie says, the Diaz brought them a title. Got to go back to the girl that got you there. Well, that'd be funny because if they win it all this year, they'll still be under the Nike contract. So then you're in a real predicament. Season as a free English soccer survivor pool starting tomorrow. I don't know anything about it, but I'm gonna try. Hell yeah. Let me see. I gotta reach out to them because I'm pulling it up right now. This is what he's talking about. You can go over to the szn.com and join in here. We're gonna have our own squad. We will have a game on squad. I'll email and reach out to them about that. But you can join their pools. I'm in 12 of the 14 pools, but look, you can join their pools, and they got an EPL Survivor, and this one's free, huh? Ooh, I got to join the NFL 100 tier one. Gotta join that. It's free. Screw it. Let's do it. Shot at free $250. Why not? I'm in. There we go. I'm in. And then you just go to your pools and you just click make picks. Oh, I gotta go watch Barnes' stuff on this. I gotta go watch the Barnes brothers, see who I should pick. But yeah, it's just that easy. I'm in the all their NFL stuff, so you can go back here. Let's go back to it. I bought because there was a discount. There still is a discount. Look at that. There was a discount earlier, or maybe this is just on here because I got a discount. But yeah, I bought this back in the spring. But I got their full NFL bundle and their full college football bundle, which includes like 12 different. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Which is like 12 different contests for the year. So there's the Big Survivor. That's the big pool. How many people are in this right now? Ooh, 1,400 people. This is a big Survivor. There's a total of 100,000 in prizes. The top prize, if you win this Survivor pool, you win $50,000. These guys do pay you out too, by the way. You get your money. I did March Madness one. I ended up getting second and won $1,200. Got paid out the following week. But yeah, they got stuff. They got week 2 survivors. So starting week 5, there'll be another survivor pool. You're in the weekly pick'ems, playoff pick'ems, loser survivor, Super Bowl props, survivor starting in week 9, QB one and done, which is basically you pick a QB who's going to throw the most yards that week, and then you can't use them again. And whoever has the most yards at the end of the season wins. Thanksgiving pools, all 32 one and done, which means through the course of the season you have to pick a team to win. So you pick like 2 teams to win most weeks, but then you can't use them again. Playoff fantasy, fun stuff right there. And they also got a college football one too. These were last year's though. So the Big Survivor, if you can place in the top 700, you'll get paid 100,000 in total prizes. But yeah, it's fun stuff, and it's not that expensive to join, especially right now if it's still 50% off. Not that expensive to join. And then they have the NFL tier. I'm gonna join that one, the $100 NFL tier list one. But if you want to join that, I'll start sending my link out. Actually, I can drop it right now. There it is. Look at that. If you want to join, come check it out. And we are going to have our own squad. We'll have our own page, our own thing. I talked to the guys all about it. So we'll have a game on community over there. Grass guy says I need to find a survivor pool. Go join this one. Chance to win 50 grand? Come on now, son. Sounds pretty cool. But yeah, Shedeur, he gone. He gone. Did you see this? We have a little hockey, little NHL, NBA crossover here. The Carolina Hurricanes owner, Tom Dundon, has agreed to buy the Portland Trailblazers from the estate of Paul Allen for a valuation of over $4 billion. The family's getting out of the NBA. I wonder if they're going to sell the Seahawks. That'd be crazy. Or did they already sell the Seahawks? I can't remember. Who owns? Okay, yep. No, they still own the Seahawks. They still own the Seahawks. The late, great Paul Allen passed, but his family still runs it. But that's crazy. They sold the Trailblazers for $4 billion. Maybe we can all pool our money together. Maybe after we win that survivor pool and we win some contests this year, guys, maybe we can all pool together and buy the Seahawks from the family. That'd be fun. Seems like a good investment. But yeah, that's what we got for sports news. Let me check and make sure I didn't miss any other top headlines. Blue says, "Come on now, son, 50K." Yeah, dude, you can win 50K. I'm not kidding. Those guys, those prize pools they have over there, they pay you out. They're legit. They're legit. And even if you don't get first, top 700 place. Otani pitched into the 5th inning yesterday, but the Dodgers fall out of first place. Padres are now in first place. The sale of the Celtics officially went through yesterday for $6-something billion. I wonder what that experimental drug. Jerry Jones says that the reason why he survived cancer was there was an experimental drug that saved his life. I wonder which one that was. I'll have to look into that. All right. It's that time of the day. That time of the day. All right, let's recap baseball, our daily little recap of baseball, and then we will preview today's betting lines. It was a rough day out there for us. I missed my parlay, as I was telling you guys about. I missed my parlay because the Rockies decided to put up 2 runs in the top of the 9th. What are they doing? But the Tigers get a 1-0 victory over the White Sox. Brewers continue to be the hottest team. I almost wanted to bet the over in this one. I know Blue had Brewers -1.5. That was money on the floor. They get a 12-5 victory over the Pirates, winning their 12th straight game. 12th straight game. Crazy. I saw something that, like, if you put $100 on the Brewers money line since the All-Star break, you're up like $2,800. That's crazy. Things I would like to know before they go on the run, right? I wish someone would just let us know, hey, by the way, the Brewers are about to rally off 10 in a row, so you should probably bet on them. Nationals get an 8-7 victory over the Royals. Rockies get a 6-5 victory over the Cardinals, ruining my parlay because they decided to put 2 runs up in the 9th. Hate them. Diamondbacks get a 6-4 victory over Patriots. Rangers. Dude, the Rangers, what are they doing, Patriot? What are they doing? Padres 11-1 victory over the Giants. Reds get an 8-0 victory over the Phillies. Orioles defeat the Mariners 4-3. The Fish, the best road team in the MLB, strikes again with the Marlins 13-4 victory over the Guardians. This one was great. This game was fun on Calci. I put $50 on the Guardians when they were down 4-1 right off the rip. They're down 4-1. About an inning later, the Guardians tie it up 4-4. And the Guardians go from, I think I got them at 24 cents. They go up to, like, I sold them for 57. And I'm glad I sold out right then and there, because not shortly after that, the Marlins put up a bunch of runs and ran away with this game. But that's another reason why I like betting on Calci. You can buy in when a team's down, and if they have a rally, you can cash out. So I over doubled my money in a matter of 1 inning. Matter of about 30 minutes, doubled my money and got out. And if I would have hung on and waited, would have been a loser. So that was nice. Twinkies defeat the Yankees 4-1. Bad day to be a freaking New York baseball fan. Both teams just suck. Cubs 4-1 victory over the Blue Jays. Braves, we talked about this with Frank the Tank. He's pissed. Braves win 11-6. Mets were up 6-0 after 2 innings. Braves put up 9 in the top of the 4th and never looked back. Get 11-6 victory there for the Braves. The Astros defeat the Red Sox 4-1. Angels survive the Dodgers, and they complete the season sweep of the Dodgers. Who had that on their bingo card? 6-5 victory there for the Angels over the Dodgers. Dodgers are no longer in first place. It is your Padres that are in first place. Rays get an 8-2 victory over the A's. Speaking of standings, let's go ahead and take a look at that. Toronto's still in first place. They're 4.5 games up on Boston. Detroit's in first. They got a 6.5 game lead over the Indians. Houston has a 1 game lead up on the Mariners. That's going to come down to the last few games of the season. You got the Phillies are 5 games ahead of the Mets. Milwaukee's 7.5 games up on the Cubbies, and the Padres are now 1 game up on the Dodgers. So here's your wild card standings. In the American League, you got the Mariners, 3-game lead in the wild card spot, followed by the Red Sox, and then the Yankees are only 1 game up on the Indians now. God, They're terrible. In your National League, you got the Cubbies 4.5 games up, Dodgers 3.5 games up, and the Mets just 1 game up on the Reds. Both New York teams are only 1 game out or 1 game away from being out of the wild card spot. Wild. Blue likes the Cubs money line today. Okay. All right, Blue, I see you. Let's go ahead and take a look at today's games. Grassky says, "Do we have a Frank video?" Yeah, I played it. I'll play it for you again. We'll watch a quick little bit of it here in a second. Let me run through this first. Mariners defeat. Mariners are playing the Orioles. This is Jamie's pick today. Orioles plus 1.5 on the run line. Mariners minus 130 road favorites against the Orioles plus 110 home dogs. 66% of the money is on the Mariners at minus 130. Cubbies and the Blue Jays. This is the one that Blue likes. Cubbies minus 115 road favorites. Blue Jays minus 105 home dogs. Sharp money and big money is on the Blue Jays. 36% of the bets. 54% of the money is on Toronto. Marlins and the Guardians. Guardians minus 135. Or I guess, did they win yesterday? No, they lost. So they are the Guardians today. Guardians are minus 135 home favorites. Marlins plus 115 road dogs. Sharp money on the Marlins. 57% of the money so far is coming in on the Fish. Phillies and the Nationals. Nationals plus 175 home dogs. Phillies minus 210 road favorite. Sharp money on the Phillies. 86% of the money is on Philadelphia. Braves and the Mets. Mets minus 190 home favorites. Braves plus 165 road dogs. Sharp money on the Braves. 82% of the overall money is on the Mets. Tigers and the Twins. Twinkies minus plus 175 home dogs. Tigers minus 210 road favorites. Big money on the Tigers. 79% of the bets, but 90% of the overall money back in Detroit. And your night game tonight is the Diamondbacks and the Rockies. Diamondbacks minus 175 road favorites. Rockies plus 150 home dogs. Sharp money on the Diamondbacks. 81% of the bets. 86% of the money is on Arizona. And there you have that's your daily baseball recap and betting preview. Catch us live every day, 4:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on all the channels they stream to, which is right down at the bottom of the screen, as you can see. Those are my links to wherever you watch. We'll see you then. Boom. Boom. Here you go, Grass Guy.
This team absolutely is fucking nightmarishly. It doesn't even give a fuck. They don't ever want to win. They don't want to win. And next year they're going to go on 162 and they love it. They love losing. I've never seen a team that loves losing. 6-0 and they gave it right back. And the smiles on their faces with that goddamn motherfucking H2OGO every time they play that fucking song. Every time. And then they go down without a fucking fight. They don't even give a fuck. The Reds are now passing them. Everything's just a nightmare. Total fucking nightmare. They're going to blow it. They come on. They might have a 20-run lead and they'll fucking blow it. They literally don't want to win. 430. Walk. They love it. They fucking love it. And this team's going to be fun to that next year. Anyone in next year, they want to listen to all these individual games.
What did he say at the end? Come on, Frank. Relax. Relax, Frank. It's just one game. You're welcome, Grass Guy. You're welcome. Let's see. Let's go talk about the Browns. I'll take a swig of water here first. All right, today we're previewing the Cleveland Browns 2025 season. We are covering each team one a day here in the morning show. So if you haven't caught us live, come check us live 4:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Wherever you watch, all the links are right down there, or my handles are right down there, wherever you prefer to watch from. We prefer to see you over on Rumble, of course. Game On Show over on Rumble. I'm going to be honest with you. This is a depressing chapter. Which probably comes no surprise to any of you, but even Warren Sharp, we're reacting to Warren Sharp's outlook and preview. So we'll go through this, and we're doing a reaction to it. Some of the key points he points out, I'll talk about. agree or disagree with, of course. A lot of good information in this book. If you haven't checked it out, you should go to Warren Sharp's page and go get his book. You can get the digital version or an actual physical hard copy. If you're betting on sports this year, betting on the NFL, you're going to want this resource. I don't get paid to say that. I don't get anything from sending you there to go get purchased. It's just a great tool that I think everyone should use. But the Cleveland Browns, not much to say about the Browns. They're terrible. They're obviously we know their big issue is the Deshaun Watson deal, one of the worst trades in NFL history, and they're still paying for it. They were able to restructure a lot of his salary cap this year, but next year it's going to be a huge hit. And they've got 5 quarterbacks on their roster now, not counting Watson. Embarrassing, but they were 3-14 last year, and they're in a complete rebuild mode. This is Kevin Stefanski's 6th season. They got a new offensive coordinator coming into the season, Tommy Rees. Jim Schwartz is going to year 3 with his defense. The defense is the only nice thing about this team. But unfortunately, I don't think as much as defenses are important, I don't think a defense is going to win the Browns a championship this year. They have the toughest schedule, as you can see here. They have the toughest schedule through the first 4 weeks. I think if you're in one of those betting markets where you want to bet which team will be the last defeated team remaining, there's a good case that's going to be the Cleveland Browns. They could start the season 0-8. Probably won't, but they could. The Browns are only favored in 1 game this season, and that's home against the Titans. They're only favored so far in 1 game. That's embarrassing. Sorry, Buku. That's embarrassing. But they don't have any primetime games this year other than, I guess, if you count the international game, because it is a standalone game, but they got an international game week 5 against Minnesota. So think about this. They go through this brutal first 4 weeks where they're playing they're playing Cincy, Baltimore, Green Bay, and Detroit. You go through that gauntlet, and then you got to hop on a bird and go over to Europe and play the Vikings. Then you got to come back home and play Pittsburgh after that. Not great. Not great. When it comes to rest advantage and disadvantage, they got 3 games where they have a rest advantage against their opponents. Only a 1 day on all of those, but they also have they have 2 games where they're at a rest disadvantage, 3-day rest disadvantage against Green Bay, and then a 7-day rest disadvantage. Get this. So not only do you have to play this brutal schedule, then you got to fly over to Europe and play the Vikings, but then when you come back home, you got to go on the road to Pittsburgh, a divisional opponent, and play in Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh's going to be coming off a bye. So you not only did you play overseas, but the opponent, and then you have to play on the road against a divisional opponent, but your divisional opponent's coming off a bye. Not great. Not great. Some of the key players they lost over the offseason: James Hudson, right tackle, he gone. Jedrick Willis, left tackle, he's gone. Obviously, Jameis Winston is with the Giants now. Mike Ford is with the Falcons. Elijah Moore went to the Bills. You got Nick Harris, Nick Chubb, Jordan Atkins, Maurice Hurts, Nyheim Hines. They're all gone. Charlie Hewitt is with the Eagles now. And then all those other guys that they ended up losing. Bailey Zappe's the chief. I didn't realize Bailey Zappi was a chief until I saw him in the preseason. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I knew Minshew was. What up, Pudge? Pudge is in the house. How we doing, buddy? Happy late birthday, dude. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Just dropping in for a sec. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it, my man. Dude, cheerleaders are gay. They are very gay. They're very gay. I don't want to be a Patriot fan anymore. I don't. Thank you for your attention to this matter. That's awesome. Some key free agents and trades they made over this offseason. They got Joe Tyrone Shoyinka, an edge rusher. They signed Joe Flacco, who's going to be their starting QB. You can get Joe Flacco still at 80 cents to be the starting QB. Joe Flacco is going to be starting week 1. So that's like free money over on Kalshi. They traded for Kenny Pickett and then a bunch of other guys they got there. Now, they drafted exactly how you think the Browns would draft. They just were like, you know what? We're gonna beef up our defense even more, and then we're gonna take some needs on the offensive side of the ball. So they take with the 5th over. Now they had the number 2 overall pick. Remember, they traded that out, which was a good move by them. They traded back a few spots with Jacksonville and picked up Jacksonville's first-round pick next year. So they got a first-rounder to trade back, and they still got a good player in defensive tackle Mason Graham, who's going to be an automatic day 1 starter. So that's a good pick by them. They had 2 picks. They actually had the most the best draft capital this season. So they got that going for them, or for this past draft. But we've seen that before. The Browns had a stretch. I can't remember the years. We'll look at it in here, where they had the best draft capital, and they just blow it. But in the second round, they had 2 picks. They took linebacker Carson Schwezger out of UCLA. And they took a running back, Quinshawn Junkins, out of Ohio State. Third round, they took tight end Harold Fannin out of Bowling Green. And they took QB Dylan Gabriel. So they signed 2 QBs in the offseason, and Joe Flacco can pick. Then they draft QB Dylan Gabriel out of Oregon. Then they took another running back, Dylan Sampson, out of Tennessee. So they got a couple of young running backs to pair up with Jerome Ford. And then the shock to everyone, because now they have 4 quarterbacks on their roster. One, obviously, Deshaun Watson not playing. They take in the 5th round QB to Shedeur Sanders, who is already a preseason Hall of Famer for the Browns. So some say that's the best pick they've ever made. We'll see. But I'm telling you, I'm giving you a warning. This chapter gets real depressing. Because I don't know who it was, but someone said every year there are about 8 teams that have a realistic chance to win the Super Bowl. And that's correct. That is correct. There's about 8 teams. We all know the 8 teams. We all can pretty much pick who the AFC champion, who the AFC matchups, or not the AFC, the conference championship matchups are going to be. Albeit there's some shocker years, like no one had Washington make it to the NFC championship last year, right? A lot of people probably had Eagles and 49ers before the season started. But I've been watching football for decades and can't remember when the Cleveland Browns were in the group of teams that you realistically thought could win the Super Bowl. The Browns are a depressing team to address in this book like this, because so much of what I love to provide to you is unpacking the prior season. You sort of remember some of these teams, and there's a media narrative about them, but I try to unpeel the onion layer by layer and really show you what happened last year and why I expect it will either continue or look different. But Warren Sharp goes on to say, I'm not going to waste your time talking about last year, because last year was atrocious. They were an 8.5. They were projected, their win total was at 8.5, and they ended up winning just 3 games. Embarrassing. This was it in a nutshell from last year. Quarterback X played this week and has been bad, but then he was hurt. So quarterback Y made the next 2 starts and he was bad. So they went back to quarterback X, but then they had a season injury. He had a season-ending injury, so they went back to quarterback Z, and he was also bad. That was their 23 season. They had 11 quarterback changes in the 23 season. Then last year, Deshaun Watson came out and played for the first, 7 weeks or so. And obviously, there's all his stats. We all know Deshaun Watson was not good. Not good. The Browns were started the season off 1-5 before Watson tore his Achilles in Week 7's game. But unlike last year, Sharp's not going to go through the 7 weeks in detail. He's not going to go through telling you about DTR, Jameis Winston, Bailey Zappi, who's not on the team anymore. And then they find themselves they got 4 quarterbacks this season. And we still don't know what the Browns are going to do with all these quarterbacks. This year, the Browns are just favored in 1 game, and they're expected to win. Their season win total is 4.5. I'll tell you now, go under. Go under. I don't think the Browns want to win games. You can take an alt under 2.5. I think you do that. I think the Saints and the Browns go under 2.5. Get you some plus money on that. Embarrassing. But yeah, as you can see, look at it. They're not favored in any. Look at these games that they start off the season. 5.5 point dog, 12.5 point dog, 5.5 point dog, 10.5 point dog, 7 point dog, 6.5 point dog. Only a 1.5 point dog to the Dolphins. 5.5 point dog to the Patriots. They aren't favored until week 14. They're a 1.5 point favorite at home against Tennessee. That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing. It's hard to win games when you have bad quarterbacks, but it's even harder to win games when your cap is being held hostage by a bad quarterback who's not playing for you. And this is where we get into the Deshaun Watson stuff. Watson was a $36 million cap hit this year, which it's only $36 million because the Browns restructured his deal and converted $45 million into his salary as a signing bonus. So they were able to spread that money around. But next year's cap hit is $81 million. $81 million for a guy that they don't even want on the team. Remember, ownership came out and talked. Even ownership said that was the worst trade in NFL history. You know how wild that is to talk about it being the worst trade in NFL history as the guy you traded for is still on your team and you owe $131 million to still? And his contract was fully guaranteed. They were one of the first people to make one of these big quarterback salaries fully guaranteed. $230 million fully guaranteed. Oh, not good. It's not good. But check this out. So the Browns draft capital in 2024 was the last in the league. They had like nothing. They had nothing. But this year they had the number one draft capital, and I think they used it fairly wisely. I mean, they took a shot at some quarterbacks. You have to when you don't have a quarterback. Got a couple young running backs, and they beefed up continue to beef up their defense. So not much else they could have done in that spot. And one of the best things they did was getting a first-round pick. They traded away the number 2 overall pick to land an extra first-round pick next year from Jacksonville. So they got 2 first-round picks next year. They should just trade away those 2 first-round picks to someone that will take Deshaun Watson contract. They now have multiple first-round picks to go with their 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 3 7th-round picks next year. And I mean, who knows what else they'll add going forward. The Browns aren't a dumb organization. That is debatable. But they know the most important position in football is quarterback. That's why they're willing to take such a gamble on Watson. They risk looking like idiots for a chance to change the trajectory of their franchise. Obviously, they lost that gamble. Judkins is the only one of those 4 currently slated to start for the Browns, and he will have to compete with Jerome Ford for that role out of their draft picks that they took at the top of the draft. Here we go into why you should bet under 4.5 wins. I say 2.5 wins for the Cleveland Browns. Mighty Megatron, good morning. Says Cleveland is where quarterbacks go to die. That's true. The Browns have been dealt an abysmal schedule that projects as the 2nd hardest in the league. Much of that is due to being in the AFC North and 3 teams securing winning records last season. Cleveland will also face Packers, Lions, Vikings, and Bills this year. Good news is they faced a similarly hard schedule in 2024. It will likely be another rough season for the franchise. To make matters worse for the Browns, they ranked bottom 5 in the rest advantage for the upcoming season. Not only will the teams be facing some of the toughest teams, but they will be doing it without substantial time to recover. There's some optimism with Dale and Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, but the quarterback room is still a question mark in Cleveland. The 2 rookies who were drafted in the 3rd and 5th rounds will compete with Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett for the starting spot. It is an unimpressive group unless an unlikely star emerges. Not great. But if you are like Buku and optimistic on the season, here's why you should bet over 4.5 wins for the Browns. Browns had 9.5 fewer touchdowns than expected based on yards and red zone trips last season. This implies that their offense was better than advertised and could see improvements, but the quarterback issue that led to that disappointing output remained. The team has some talent on the offense, but they need some stability at quarterback to put it together. Injuries were a big factor for Cleveland last season. At the quarterback, they struggled to stay healthy on the offensive, and they struggled to stay healthy on the offensive line. Wyatt Tettler and Jack Conklin both missed significant time, and Joel Bitonio was the only lineman who started 17 games. Better injury luck and some stability could benefit and lead to more wins. The NFL draft and free agency helped Cleveland secure a lot of talent for the upcoming season. The team selected Mason Graham with the number 5 overall pick. He'll be an impact player joining newcomer Malik Collins on the defensive line. Carson Schweisinger was drafted in the 2nd round to help the linebackers. There's also the chance that Shedeur Sanders wins the quarterback job and fulfills his potential after sliding to the 5th round. That's not going to happen. That's getting way too optimistic there. Check this out. When Jerome Ford was not hit in the backfield, he gained 7.3 yards per carry. Only Derrick Henry was better. So, I mean, if Cleveland can figure out their offensive line, they got a good back. I mean, they drafted a couple of young backs this season, but Jerome Ford's a good back. Good back there. The Browns are likely to struggle again as they did in 24, and they'll be back picking near the top of the draft next season. And the quarterback class certainly looks a lot better next year, so maybe that's what they're going to do. So why exactly do the Browns? What are they looking to do this season? If their number one goal is to ensure that they have a franchise quarterback of the future, we already know that the player is not currently on this team. It's not Joe Flacco. It's not Kenny Pickett. Probably not going to be Gabriel or Sanders. There's a reasonable possibility that the Browns don't care if they win in 25. I would say so. One thing that the Browns need to change this year, if they do want to win games, is they need to change early down efficiency. This is how they ranked on first down last year. They were last or in the bottom 3 in EPA per pass success rate, yards per attempt, first down per pass, all these metrics. They were terrible. And all these charts show it. Look at, you don't want to see a lot of red over here in this chart. And there's a lot of red. No matter what the Browns tried to do, pass or run, they were terrible on first down. As a result of being horrific on first down, they had the longest distance to go on third down. Grass Guy says they drafted a beast of a running back. They sure did. And I like that guy out of Tennessee as well. There's a bunch of stats here telling you how they're terrible. We don't need to go through all of them. But they need to start making things simpler and be more efficient on first down, one step at a time, because you can't fix everything all at once. If you read me for a while, you know how critically I approach the first half of games. If you flip to the second to last page of this chapter, you can look at the section called Offensive Efficiency and Tendency Research. Headings 4 through 13 relate to the first half efficiency and a variety of stats, including efficiency, all that stuff. Okay. The Browns ranked dead last in all of them, other than first half early down run efficiency, where they ranked 31st, so second to last. In red zone efficiency, they were ranked number 27. We know that the quarterbacks were terrible, but the receivers didn't do them any favors, ranking 31 in on-target catch rate and 30 in drop rate. If the Browns are going to try to play it by ear and see how things go during the season from a win-loss perspective to determine their late season strategy, it's going to be tough to stack wins early in the season. The Browns have the number one hardest schedule from weeks 1 through 4, and no other team is close. I mean, they Bengals, Ravens, Packers, Lions. That's brutal. Bet under in the Brown games. Bet under Browns team total. That's what you do in those games. So if the Browns struggle in the opening month, they'll have to get out of that spiral in London. They got to fly to London and take on Brian Flores' Vikings defense, followed by a road game in Pittsburgh, where they're 3-31 since 1990 and have lost 21 of their last 22 in Pittsburgh. That's not great. Bottom line is the season could go off the rails before it even gets started, but from week 6 through the end of the season, the 3 toughest opponents the Browns face, Ravens, Bills, and Niners, are all home games. And during that span, the Browns played the number 5 easiest schedule of road opponents, which, while several of those teams don't have great offenses, that's not the case for most of the season. The Cleveland defense will play the NFL's number 1 toughest schedule of offenses. This defense played really well overall last year, considering how bad the spot the offense continued to put them in. While they rank number 5 in overall defense, number 6 in early downs, they rank number 30 against explosive passes, number 31 against explosive runs. Ugh. That's not good. I told you, this chapter is depressing. Very depressing. For fantasy advice, should you draft anyone? We talked about this earlier, but Jerry Jeudy is when you look at like projected players, the first person to come off the board from the Browns is Jerry Jeudy, but that's not until the late 60s on average. So we're talking 6th round or later in a draft. Then Quinshon Judkins is up next at number 75. I don't think you can really take much of those guys. I don't think you can taking look at all this. Look at all that red. You don't want that red on there. David Njoku and Jerry Jeudy were the most targeted players targeted in the red zone when the rare time Browns actually made it to the red zone. They have the second toughest schedule of the season, right there with Grass Guys Giants. That's not good. This season isn't about winning a Super Bowl. It's about winning. It isn't about winning the division. It might not even be about winning 5 games. The season is about sorting through the wreckage and figuring out if anything can still be built. Maybe it's Dylan Gabriel. Maybe it's Shedeur Sanders. Maybe it's a 2026 draft pick, not yet on the roster. That's the mission now. Find the guy, because until they do, all the Myles Garrett dominance and all the draft capital in the world won't matter. And also, it's like, dude, they paid Myles Garrett $40 million a year in an extension. They paid him like they're trying to win now, but this team is not trying to win now. Nothing that we went through here shows you that they're even if they want to win, they can't. They got to change things up. I think Stefanski's going to be gone after the season too, which is crazy. Former coach of the year. The Browns are finally leaning into a rebuild, even if they won't say it out loud. They moved out of the number 2 overall pick. They stacked future assets, and they drafted for long-term upside, not week 1 production. That's another thing. All their draft capital this year, I mean, other than Graham, who will be playing, but he'll be a rookie out there, they were building for the future, not guys who are going to help in week 1 this season. That's not apathy. That's acknowledgement. The journey back starts by being honest about where you are. For the Browns, that means climbing out of the hole they dug, 1 first down at a time. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Bottom line, their defense is going to play great, but they got a tough schedule. They need to get better they need to stay healthy. They need to hope their offensive line steps up, and they just need to be better on first down. You do that, it'll be a successful season. Meaning, yeah, you might only win a few games, but at least you're building something. You see what you got. Oh, I agree. I think the Giants will have more wins than the Browns. But there you have it. That's your Cleveland Browns. Very depressing 2025 preview, like I said. You can catch us live. We cover a team every day. I clip this out and post it as a standalone for people who want to catch up and who might have missed it and want to see who we previewed. But yeah, depressing if you're a Browns fan. But, I think you already know that. Catch us on the next stream. There we go. There we go. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and do a raid, a little Rumble raid. Rumble raid. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bow, bow, bow. Da, 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 da. Where are they at? Where are my guys at? Where are my guys at right here? Gonna be raiding Dear America again. Good friends over there. You guys catch a show yesterday? They had a good show yesterday over there, Dear America. Raid. God, I'm figuring this out. Look at that. We're gonna go raid these guys over here. You should go check it out. Dear America. It looks like they're talking about, what is it? Hillary is done. Trump calls on Bondi to go after Hillary for the Russian hoax finally. There you go. There you go. Go over here, smash the like button, give them a raid, go hop in the chat. Their chat's always popping off. They're not as good as our chat. Our chat, we have the best chat here on Rumble, arguably on the internet. But great show over here. Go check them out. Dear America starts here in 7 minutes. So perfect time. You can go get a refill on your coffee, come back, see what they're talking about today. Fun show. Fun show. Good morning. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I'm going to do that. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Look at that. Look at that. All right. Good show. I don't know. As always, I don't know who we're going to cover tomorrow, but we will be covering someone. I'm like going through and I had to double check. I'm like, did we talk about that team already? This is what I get for not having an order, which I know you guys aren't surprised about at all. But I'll be back tomorrow morning, 4:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, as always. Probably get 2 streams tomorrow. I'll get the morning show and we'll get a nooner, a nap time nooner stream, 12:30, of course, Pacific. Got a lot to talk about. We got the upcoming. We got week 2 preseason starts tomorrow in the NFL, and then we get college football week 0 next week. Oh baby, inject it into my veins. Hope you guys have a good Thursday. I'll be back tomorrow, bright and early, 4:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, as always. But until then, good luck, good gambling, and game on.